So this is the second part of my video on arc, big A and little a. So I'm going to continue with this one right here. So we have a reference angle of 49 degrees, 18 minutes, and I want to apply that to quadrant 3. So if I put 49 degrees, 18 minutes here, I need to calculate that full angle. So I'm going to take this, and then I would be adding another 180 to it. Let's see. So, DMS this, 229.18. So we've got the other one is 229, 18 minutes plus 360 rotations times however many rotations forwards and backwards, okay? So it's all about that reference angle, and a lot of people get tripped up on that. All right. So let's keep on going. Now we get tangent. Okay, tangent's a little cray-cray. Okay, and I am going to actually talk about these values right here at 45 degrees. So tangent we know is sine divided by cosine. So the tangent here is 0. Tangent at 45 degrees is 1. Tangent here is undefined. Tangent here is -1. Tangent here is 0. And then it repeats actually. So let's look at what's going on in this graph. So at 0 degrees, tangent is 0. At 45 degrees, tangent is 1. At 90 degrees, tangent's undefined, so you'll notice that we do have an asymptote. And then over here, tangent is -1, then it goes here, and then it repeats. So this would be like a principal value kind of thing, even though technically principal values for tangent is here to here. But anyway, I'm just showing you one period of it. How about that? That's one period of it. And then of course, it goes on forever and ever. So this is what it looks like when we have a ton of them together. So they go forever and ever in both directions. But here's the deal. This starts to repeat after 180. Like, look, here I only went to 180 degrees. I only went to 180 degrees, right? And then it starts to repeat and repeat and repeat. So the period on a sine and a cosine wave is 2 pi. But the period on a tangent is only pi. Okay, so period with a sine and cosine wave. We went all the way around this circle for sine and cosine. We're not doing it for tangent because we don't need to. It repeats every pi. So just be very careful. It says how long does it take for sine and cosine to repeat, and it is 2 pi or 360 degrees. But for a tangent, it's going to be pi or 180 degrees. So be very careful. That's going to change some things up, right? We're not going to write plus 360k anymore. So because of this, we add pi or 180 degrees to each rotation, and we will only have one solution. Think about that. When we had 2 pi, so let's say when we did like inverse cosine all values that are positive, that would be first and fourth quadrant, we had a listing of 2 answers, right? Like we had a listing of 2 answers here. But if I'm only looking at 180 degrees, we're only going to have one answer. Right? We're only going to have one answer. So just keep that in mind as we do it. And then I have a little box summarizing it there. But let's just jump into it so you can see what in the world's going on. Okay, so inverse tangent, and this would be all values. Okay, so if this is all values here, when is tangent -√3? Now, you have a choice here. Truthfully, you should stay between quadrant 1 and quadrant 4, but I don't care. Like, when is tangent negative? Okay, so tangent is negative. Not there. What am I doing? Right here and right here. So 2 and 4 you have a choice between. I don't care which one you give me, but please don't give me both. Alright, so truly you should do the quadrant 4 answer because inverse tangent operates here, but I don't care. I just don't care. Alright, so when is tangent √3? So tangent is √3 at 60 degrees, right? So there are plenty different kinds of answers you could have here. You could put your 60 here, and you could calculate this angle, which is 120. So you could say theta is 120 degrees plus, watch out here, 180k. You're done. There's not more answers. Because if I add 180 to this, I land in quadrant 4. So you've got both answers, right? If I add 180 to that, you land in quadrant 4, so you have both answers. So I could stop here. Now, you may have chosen to write -60 plus 180k. That's fine. You may have 300 plus 180k. That's fine. I don't care. I do not care as long as correct. Okay, so there are alternate answers to this. This is just one of them. This one here, so we know for sure we're limited on this because this means principal value. So if this is principal value, we know we can only be here, and this is 60 degrees, so this would be negative 60 degrees. And that's it for that one, right? So be really careful with that. Okay, so now we're going to try it with the calculator. I'm just jotting something down on my paper real quick. Okay, I'm going to try this with the calculator, so I'm going to jot down here. So first let's do principal. So principal is when you have a capital A. So if we go on the calculator, I'm doing second tangent negative 5.6921 and degrees, minutes, seconds. So negative 80 in 2 minutes. Now, the reason why I'm doing this principal value is because we're going to have to use it over here anyway. And I want you to remember, the period is 180. So you don't need to give me two answers, all right? You only need to give me the one. So I could technically say negative 80 plus 180 rotations forwards or backwards. That's it. Don't get deep about it. And there's multiple answers here. Tangent is negative in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4, so you could give me different answers, but they just better be correct. Okay, but I'm just showing you the easiest thing, like boom, boom, you're done. That covers all the answers. So let's do some of these. This is find the angle measures in degrees and when ratios are not exact to the nearest thousandth. Okay, so first, what is the sine of 30? So the sine of 30 degrees, let's think about that. That would be 1 over 2. So we have this. Now the capital A means principal value, and they want to know when is cosine 1/2. Well, that happens here, and degrees it says, so we're going to use degrees, and that's at 60 degrees. So 60 degrees is the full answer to this. So there's 2 steps to it. Sine of 40, definitely a calculator problem. So I'm going to bust this out. Let's do sine of 40. And I'm just going to go ahead. Now this one's kind of goofy, and I'm going to talk about it. So 0.6428. Arc sine 0.6428. Now, if you're doing this in the calculator, it is principal because it's capital A. It's automatically going to give you the principal value. So if I put this in, I kind of dislike this problem because if you do this and you do degrees, minutes, seconds, well, it says 40 degrees, so it works out. And think about that. If I want the inverse sine of 40, both of these land in the same quadrant. Both of them land in the same quadrant, so you should just pop out a 40 from there. But take it step by step. Right now, you're probably, what I just said, you're like, what? Just take it step by step like I did, okay? Don't just automatically assume these go like this, just to warn you, because that doesn't always happen in math. So the principal value, and this is not something I know from the unit circle, so I'm going to go into the calculator, and I'm going to do inverse cosine, and I'm going to do negative 3/5. Apparently I can't type today. Okay, 3/5. And this is what I get. And this is an angle, right? The cosine of what angle gives, this is an angle. So I need to write it as an angle here. Okay, so 126 and 52 minutes. So tangent of 126 and 52 minutes. So then I need to take the tangent of that. So tangent, and you know what? I'm going to go grab it. And then I'm just going to delete out this extra junkola. So delete, 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 get all that out of there. Okay. And they said round this to the nearest 10,000th. Is that right? Is that what it says? Nearest thousandth. Okay, fine. Cool. Negative 1.333. Boom, done with that. Okay. We got this guy here. Principal value when tangent is 1. Okay, so we can't go here. Tangent is 1 here. We're using degrees. So that's 45 degrees. So we want to know what is the cosine of 45 degrees. Okay, well we can handle this, right? Cosine of 45 degrees is root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2. This is the cosine, so that's your answer. Boom, done. All right, that concludes it. If you need to rewatch it, but that should be it for today. And until next time, goodbye.